What is up, Division 2 agents? Welcome back to the channel. It's D Werewolf Gaming, and I'm back with another powerful build, guys. Alright, gamers. So today, this build is very fun. I've been using this build for the longest, guys, but one reason I never really took time to really showcase this build, primarily because I know a lot of gamers may not have everything in this setup. For example, guys, the turmoil knee pads, or even the oral borders. Both of these weapons are locked behind content. For example, you can't get the turmoil knee pads starting on August 19th. If you're at least level 100 on the seasonal track, and guys, you'll be able to obtain it by playing through the stretch goals. The aura bars as well, you will be able to obtain that as well. But overall, this build that I'm showcasing today is very fun, very powerful. And today I decided to show it with using the modifiers, because at the end of the day, guys, I've been playing this game since it first ever came out, and I enjoy using the modifiers. It's what makes this game fun and entertaining. With that being said, my previous couple of videos, I've been showing these builds without the modifiers being used, just to show gamers especially those who always be on the fence. Well, you use modifiers. For some reason, they got this belief that the modifiers, these builds don't work without the modifiers. And and every build that I test and try out, I've played these builds before without the modifiers. The modifiers just makes it more powerful, but keep in mind, the enemies are more powerful as well. So it kind of balances it out, in my opinion. With that being said, I did want to showcase this build, especially since now those who are new to this game is going to be able to get the chance to acquire these items, the turmoil knee pads, the Ouroboros, or even any other raid exclusive items such as the Eagle Bear or even the Ravenous. Definitely recommend you grind that seasonal reward track to get up to level 100 so you can be able to take part in this coming on August 19th. With that being said, let's get ready to go over this build breakdown. All right, so the start of showing this build, guys, is the Ouroboros. You can obtain this just by playing through the Paradise Lost Incursion, but you can also get it through the stretch goals. As you can see, it is fully maxed out with an expertise of 30%, with the core attributes being maxed out with SMG damage, critical hit chance, and 10% damage to target out of cover. All right, the accuracy is pretty poor on this gun, but the stability is amazing, and the reload time is great as well. But the talent on this gun is called Rule Them All. When the agent has a status effect applied to them, 50% of the ammo in their next magazine will apply the same status effect to the targets. This effect will only occur during combat. The mods that come in this gun are 10% critical hit damage, 25% increase in reload speed, plus 10% critical hit chance, and 10% increase in rate of fire. All right, guys, we did go with a rock and roll name, ACS-12. If you don't have this gun, guys, just use the ACS-12. Primarily because we are wearing the Striker's gear set, and this will help you build up those stacks pretty quickly. I do got an expertise of 20% with the core attributes being fully maxed out with shotgun and damage to armor. Did have damage to target out of cover as the attribute, and the talent on this gun is called Perfect League Extra, which basically boosts your magazine capacity by 50%. The mods I do have on this gun is a 10% critical hit damage and a 5% critical hit chance mod. Like I was saying, guys, we did go with the Striker's battle gear set, and 2 pieces gives you 15% increase in weapon handling. 3 pieces gives you 15% increase in rate of fire. And when you have on all 4 pieces, you get Striker's Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%. This stacks up to 100 times. You get 100 stacks, you'd be at 65% increase in weapon damage. Keep in mind, 1 stack is lost per second between 0 and 50, and 2 stacks are lost per second between 50 and 100 stacks. For the core attribute, we did have an armor core, and the middle attributes we was going for critical hit damage or critical hit chance, but I did have 2 12% critical hit damage attributes. We did wear the chest piece, guys, amazing chest piece, and we did have a core attribute, being an armor core, with 2 12% critical hit damage attributes. For the talent, the talent that comes on the chest piece is called Press the Advantage. This increases your max stacks for Striker's Gamble from 100 to 200, so that's amazing, but you will lose 3 stacks per second between 100 and 200 stacks. All right, we did have the Striker's poster on as well, and for the core attribute, we did have an armor core with a 12% critical hit damage attribute. And for the knee pads, guys, this is what I was talking about. You will be able to obtain this on the 19th, but it's called the Turmoil, and it is a part of the chest scub brand set, which gives you 8% increase in critical hit chance. The core attribute is a weapon damage, and the attributes that come on are 6% critical hit chance and a 12% critical hit damage attribute. The talent is called Bewildered. And basically, when dealing weapon damage to an enemy, 50% of the damage dealt will be dealt to another enemy within 30 meters instead. When there are no enemies nearby, you deal normal damage. This does not apply to armor plates, though, so keep that in mind. Like I was saying, guys, on your journey, you need to be at least level 100 to be able to acquire these items, which, like I said, will occur on beginning on August 19th. All right, so we did go to Striker's gloves as well. We did have a core attribute being an armor core with a 6% critical hit chance attribute. All right, guys, and one of my favorite exotics is the Memento backpack, primarily because it comes with 3 cores. You get a weapon, an armor, and a skill tier, and we did have a 12% critical hit damage attribute on it. The main thing about this backpack that makes it so special is the talent. It's called Kill Confirm. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting those trophies provide both a short and long-term buff. The first of which scales with the number of cores you have. For example, each red core will give you 5% increase in weapon damage. Each blue core will be 10% in bonus armor. And each yellow will be 5% increase in skill efficiency. For every trophy you collect, you will gain an additional plus 1% weapon damage and skill efficiency. On top of that, 0.1% armor regeneration for 300 seconds. Keep in mind, when you get 30 stacks, you have 30% increase in weapon damage, skill efficiency with 3% armor regen. Overall, amazing backpack. Not only because of the boost in damage you get, you can also get skill efficiency. On top of that, guys, you get armor regeneration as well. If you don't have it, guys, I recommend you just using the regular Striker's backpack. It is amazing as well, primarily because it boosts up the damage of the Striker's Gamble. Basically, the talent that comes on the backpack is called Risk Management. This increases total weapon damage that you gain per stack from Striker Gambles from 65%, 0.65 to 0.90%. So, automatically pushing your weapon damage up to 90%. Overall, amazing backpack as well. But I do like using the Memento because it gives you a little bit more survivability. Ultimately, it depends on what you're doing. If you're on Legendary, the Striker's backpack would have been amazing as well. We did go with the Crusader Ballistic Shield, and it does scale with the number of yellow and blue cores you have. And we did use the Banshee Pulse, which is great, guys, to get you out of sticky situations. The Banshee Pulse launches a forked arc of pulse energy that disorients enemies caught in the wave and also penetrates through cover as well. All right, for the modifiers, guys, we did go with the Assault Link. If you aren't familiar with it, basically, guys, you just activate it and you will get all sorts of bonuses, such as 5% increased weapon damage for every non-red core equipped. Your attributes are frozen and bonuses are multiplied by 4. Your passive modifiers are multiplied by 2. On activation, allies within 25 meters are granted a boost to their firearm score, and the duration is increased by 3 seconds for each ally that is nearby. When the effect ends, which lasts for 25 seconds, everything will return to its baseline values, and does have a cooldown of 60 seconds. If you pay attention to the gameplay, guys, I rarely ever use the active modifier. I prefer going with the passive modifiers. If you don't use the active modifier, you will have the passive modifiers active their entire time. That's just, but if you get in a situation where you need to use it, I would recommend. The first one is the passive is the multitasker. When you're at tier 5 in all attributes, you receive 7.5% increase in weapon damage, 85,000 max armor, and 1 additional skill tier. Keep in mind, so when I was playing with this build, I did have 2 skill tiers because of this passive right here. Overall, amazing. All right, we did go with extra padding, which you gain plus 5% protection from elites per blue core, while at tier 5, we will be at tier 5 the entire time. And we also did go to loaded up, which gives you 25% of your critical hit chance value is added as critical hit damage. So that's just amazing. All right, so let's take a look at the weapon stats. On this weapon, guys, keep in mind I do have the modifiers active. We did have a critical hit chance of 70% with 156% critical hit, 156.5% critical hit damage, and 70% headshot damage when using the Ouroboros. All right, when we're using the ACS-12 shotgun, we did have 45% increase in critical hit chance with 156.5% critical hit damage with a 65% headshot damage. All right, so let's take a look at the armor. Keep in mind with this armor, though, I do got 85,000 bonus armor with this, but it is 1,789,209 with 178,921 armor on a kill. 0 armor regeneration, but keep in mind when you do get your 30 stacks from the Memento backpack, you will have 3% armor regeneration as well. So again, guys, keep in mind some of that bonus armor is coming from the benefit of that multitasker passive that you do get whenever you're using the modifiers. All right, guys, so we did go with the gunner specialization. Every third reload is 50% faster. You will get 10% armor back on kill. Keep in mind as well, you will generate 10% of your ammo capacity every 60 seconds, and the party members will receive 5% of that. And also your rate of fire is increased by 5% for 5 seconds on each kill. One last thing is don't forget to equip the correct weapon element to get your bonus and 15% in weapon damage or whatever weapons you're using. But always use whichever class specialization you prefer. All right, guys, I do want to mention one thing. One quick tip is whenever you're farming for these gear pieces, what I like to do a lot is I often farm for gear pieces that have the attributes already being critical hit chance or critical hit damage. That way I can change the core attribute to armor, a skill, or weapon core, and that way, guys, you can you'll make those pieces interchangeable. Well, that's one tip I do want to recommend for those who like farming for gear pieces, and trying out different builds like I do. With that being said, guys, like I said, I wanted to showcase this build using the modifiers because the modifiers are fun. And I think a lot of agents who don't take time to level up their seasonal journey, you do miss out when you don't play with these modifiers, guys, because each one is different each season. Keeps the game fresh and entertainment, in my opinion. With that being said, I do want to give a big thank you to those who always have something positive to say. Well, it is always appreciated. All right, guys, stick around. I'm going to finish the rest of this. Gonna play throughout the rest of this mission here just to show you a little bit more gameplay of how this build performs. Overall, very powerful build, guys. When you do put this together, you really enjoy it. There are some factors that I did not mention. For example, your watch SSD will need to at least one level 1000 to get the baseline damage of what I am doing. On top of that, your weapons that you're using, their current expertise level is 30. So if your weapon expertise isn't as high, you will not be doing the exact amount of damage. The Ouroboros I do have currently maxed at 30% expertise level. So that is one thing to keep in mind. One last thing, guys, whenever you're using the Striker's Gamble set, if you're new to this game, always switch to your ACS 12, build up those stacks very quickly, and then switch to whatever weapon you prefer to use. That way you can take the most benefit whenever using the Striker's Gamble set. As always, guys, appreciate each and every one of you. Beware Wolf out.
Anything for them!
Set up in the mall. They're not getting through here. Don't die, motherfucker.
I think I heard something.
Still there, sweetie? Hello? Fuck. Everybody get yourselves ready. This situation is serious.
Detected. Rogue agent eliminated.
down there. Diesel, are you dead too, you inbred son of a bitch?
Air filter function restored. Air quality acceptable. Airborne toxins at unsafe levels. Filters failing.
Taking out the hyena leadership leaves the faction in disarray. I'll send teams to start securing the supplies and the equipment those bastards were hoarding. And I'll let Odessa know. The theater settlement will be able to rest a little easier now.